Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to Remember 11, The Age of Infinity. It has been a good bit of a while since I've recorded this game. Long story short, sick for about a week or two. Uh, got off kind of the schedule, the scheme of doing YouTube video. Not scheme, not at all the word. Just got out of the habit, and it was a hard habit to get back into. For a while, I was after I just kind of got sick and didn't really feel like doing videos and stuff. I was kind of thinking about not even doing YouTube anymore. Uh, kind of a annoying thought, since it had been something I'd been doing for a year and a half almost, coming up on 2 years now. Uh, Pretty close. But yeah, that was suddenly a thing that I wasn't doing, wasn't feeling quite in the mood to do, and it was just a hard horse to get back on to, I guess you could say. For about the last month, I've been doing pretty well on them, but this one I've been a little bit leery about getting back into with the face cam. I think the face cam is a good thing with this, since a lot of it is like this right here, where I'm just talking to you and there's like a cabin, there's nothing going on there. It's just there's the door and the windows, and there's lights in each one. The you guys think it as the left window or the right window? I can't remember. The right window, I guess. It's kind of brighter. Yeah, you'll be seeing it the same way I'm seeing it. Why would you see it any different? I think I'm thinking of the webcam being flipped. But anyway, yeah, so I think the webcam is very good for that sort of thing. That way, when I'm just talking, it's the face and the voice protruding into your eardrums. Might be the way to describe it. Anyway, that wasn't a long story short. That was a long story, medium story, medium-ish. Anyway, I'm back. Going to do this again. Get back onto this one. I'm a little bit foggy, hazy, probably. Like I said, I've been putting it off. I'm a bit good at procrastinating. So I felt like doing this now, so I'm going to do this now. I'm not going to put it off any longer. Probably after this video, I'm going to go back and read through all the tips again. There's quite a lot of them, right? Yeah. Wait, how do it? The number pad's the easiest way to. Wow, there's still a lot left. Oh crap! Wow, there's. Yeah. I mean, I remember a good bit of this stuff. So I'm probably not gonna have too much trouble. Yeah, probably not gonna be too bad. But I will go back and reread it and maybe go back to the last episode, watch it. Because I remember I was already getting a bit sick at that point. And there was that crap about the MAO inhibitor and stuff I wasn't fully following. So yeah, I'll probably go back and do that. But if I did that now, it'd be a whole nother reason to procrastinate any longer. So I'm not going to do it. Just going to hop back in here. I remember the main character's name is Kokoro and Tsugumi. And there, was Takashi? Takashi's a character? Yeah, I remember the characters' names. Anyway, maybe the culprit is planning on getting me to ingest it using some kind of underhanded method. Can't say for sure that it's not a possibility. Then again, I don't have time to explain to Kokoro about the MAO inhibitor. The monoamine oxidase. Oh my gosh. Satoru! Why couldn't I quit there? Why couldn't I took my kind of the hiatus there in Kokoro's route, where I wouldn't have to come back and say the science and the tyramine? I can't list all the foods she can't eat, right? Or either. To begin with, it's not like I know whether any given food contains tyramine or not. That's why I said don't eat anything. As long as my body didn't eat anything in the next 48 hours. The Mao inhibitor could do no harm. I hoped Utsumi wasn't mistaken. I had it etched her everywhere, deep into my mind. And then, that aside, isomorphism. Great, a new word. It's like Sesame Street with Satoru. Before that, before anything else, the moon, the shape of the moon, as demonstrated in the picture. Just what the hell does this mean? That's not the same waning gibbous moon I saw before, is it? Yeah, it's not a gibbous moon. Went without saying that I'd seen it as Fia. This was a shelter cabin. How can it be exactly the same? According to the lunar cycle, there was no way the moon could be in the same phase this year as it was this time last year. Oh. Intrigue. Moreover, even its position in the sky was more or less the same. The eastern sky. It was rising somewhat higher than before. It was moving along a southward orbit, but it was still pretty much exactly the same place. I began to walk, as though guided by the moonlight. The light hit the white field of snow, creating a dreamlike veil of mist across it. The distant horizon was azure. Not blue, that would be ridiculous. It has to be azure. Like a congregation of free-floating souls. Okay. The mysterious quality of the scene before me almost had me convinced that I had stepped into a dream world. I continued my staggering progress forward. Entranced, my mind was a blank. But through my mental consciousness, I held fast to that single thought as I pushed forward. The phases of the moon at Mount Akakura and the Aosagi Island were the same. If that were true, then it couldn't be 2011 at Mount Akakura. But the year 2012 was just like at Aosagi Island. Now that was impossible. How do you explain Yomogi and the rest? They should have died a year ago. How could dead people be alive in the year 2012? Within my dim consciousness was that thought alone. In front of me shone a blue-white orb. No matter how far I ran, I'd never be able to catch up to it. You would lose consciousness and oxygen and the blood gushing out of the orifices way before you'd actually reach the moon, Satoru. You're a guy of science. I'd imagine you would know this type of thing. Though it remained stubbornly reticent, that light kindly illuminated a path for me, inviting me, summoning me. Holding fast to that feeling, I continued chasing after the shadow of the moon. Turning around, I saw how the shelter cabin had grown small in the distance. It had been built in the middle of a deep hollow like an earthen bowl. Turned back and continued my slow ascent of the slope. Climbing, climbing, climbing. To be climbing. Let me move the mouse. My bad. Before long, I'd reached the top. I'm assuming that when he reached the top, it wasn't the theme in the Rocky IV movie. Because that would be interesting. Probably would take you out of the mood. What I saw there was what. A vast ocean of steps, the glossy sheen of the dark velvet.
嘘だろ。どうしてこんなところに海が?
What day is this? Not real life, but in the game, I can't remember. I can't remember what day I'm at. They're there for 6 or 7, no, 6 days, right? Only like not episode, like day 4 or 5 now, right? Interesting. This is obviously has to do with the ending to Kokoro's route, because this is what she saw at the end. Waves gently rolled across the ocean surface to quietly break on the shore. The jet black depths of that ocean spread out in all directions with no apparent end. The soft moonlight kissed the waves with a glossy brilliance. Looking upward, the starry sky felt as though it would fall at any moment. Far off in the distance, I could see the point where the horizon divided sea and sky. Looking to either side, I could see the bow of the coastline stretching far away in either direction. White caps broke against the shore. Even from here, the faint ripple of the waves reached my ears. A sweet melody like a lullaby. This was Mount Akakura, 1,200 meters above sea level. So why was there a shore here? You're supposed to tell me, guy. As though something had snapped inside me, I began to run. I had to tell the others about this. Was this someone's sick idea of a joke? For there to be an ocean so close, and yet in spite of that, they were shutting themselves in that shelter cabin waiting for a rescue team to arrive. It was too ridiculous. Why had they never noticed it before? Yeah, Yamoki had went out a few times, and heck, Kokoro went out and explored several times. I can't remember in her route whether or not the ocean that she came to had been there, if she had been there before, you know what I mean? Whether or not she had went in that direction, before. I guess I'm saying, like if it materialized for midair or through midair or something like that. Pushing through the falling snow, I ran on. I all but tumbled down the hill, with the shelter cabin as my goal, with the goal of returning to their sides. I finally reached the cabin, almost crawling, and pulled myself down the path to the door. Just as I reached out my hand to throw it open, beep, zip, zip. That explains another time why she woke up suddenly out in the cold. Our surroundings changed in an instant. Darkness. I couldn't see a thing. I could feel something like a piece of cloth covering me. Startled, I swept it away.
俺の部屋だ。
I could tell instantly. How many transfers does this make? They always seem to occur whenever something important was going on, as if their timing had been chosen deliberately. Yeah, almost as if they had been chosen to or timed just for drama, mystery, video game story. Took the wristwatch from my pocket and checked the time. Muttering that, I returned to watch. What was Kokoro doing until just now? In bed with the blanket over her head?
ってことは眠ってたのか。
Turned to the desk and grabbed the notepad lying there. There weren't any new messages. You mad at her for sleeping? Come on, why are you mad at her for sleeping? That's your body. You don't want to rest. You don't want any rest or nothing. No, Satoru, you probably don't. He's probably one of those that he likes to keep the brain rolling 24/7. I thought of something and went outside. The pathway stretching all the way to the front gate. As I walked, I looked up at the moon for confirmation. Waning gibbous. I don't know what that means, but I agree. It is the same moon from a minute ago. I think it's the same picture from a minute ago. Its shape resembled an open mouth, making it almost seem like it was laughing hysterically. And that their head, was, or their neck was really, really in pain because they were. Ow. I stood before the gate, trying to figure out how to open it. I noticed a small control panel to the left. It appeared to be a computerized card reader that controlled the lock. The deep slot in the side made me realize immediately what it was. Hey, you just said that. The wheels in my head were turning a little more quickly today. Is it because of the chilly moonlight? They say that the moon has a great effect on the workings of the human mind, after all. Right. Yeah, they're supposed to make it crazy. I guess that's changing the inner workings. At any rate, as soon as the image of the card reader appeared in my mind, a solution immediately followed. I plunged my hand into my pocket and pulled it out. It was the ID card I had found in my room yesterday. Maybe it'll open if I use this. With great anticipation, I slid the card through the reader. Yeah, I was kind of just expecting to be like, are you crazy? Do you think it's that easy? But it worked. Wow. There's a road, too. I don't know why there being a road would be weird. But this is supposed to be kind of an island just out in the middle of nowhere. I guess it would have a harbor, though, wouldn't it? It'd have to have a harbor to bring supplies there. Unless they did it by helicopter. Though with it being kind of a bad, not neighborhood, but what am I trying to say? Potentially bad weather conditions. I would think the ship would be more safe than a helicopter. So I guess the road could lead to the harbor? That's my thinking. I don't know. I removed my card from the terminal and left through the gate. A faint sense of liberation. However, that was all. I'm finally free. I didn't feel the impulse to yell anything like that. Come to think of it, the idea of developing a plan to free myself from Sophia somehow never occurred to me. Even though I've thought I want to free myself from this transference phenomenon on many occasions, between that, the shelter cabin, and the killer chasing me, I've had my thoughts more than full with those three things alone. I hadn't been able to open the main gate before, anyway. The reality of actually being able to leave Sophia didn't bring me any great joy. Now then, it went without saying that this was the coast. There it was, just a minute's walk from the main gate. The beautiful white sand of the shoreline stretched out from east to west. That's not snow, that's sand. Sophia was on Aosagi Island, so there was nothing strange about the ocean being here. But before my eyes were gently rolling waves, the jet black depths of the ocean. The soft moonlight kissing the waves with its glossy brilliance, and the starry sky that felt as though it would fall at any moment. Far off in the distance, the point where the horizon divided sea and sky, the bow of the coastline, like caps that broke against the shore, and the faint ripple of the waves, like a lullaby. It was a perfect copy. This was the same landscape I'd seen at Mount Akakura. So he's saying it's the exact same? It's not like here's maybe part of a peninsula, and this is part of a peninsula, and they look kind of similar, but they're overlooking each other. It's nothing like that. Got myself unable to speak. Some frightening reality was steadily approaching. Only that ominous premonition remained, coiling in my chest like a whirlpool. I returned to my room and lay face up on my bed, speculating. The moon, the ocean, had no idea what was happening. It was like some black magic had been cast upon me. Everything about this was so totally irrational, I couldn't help but feeling like I'd been cursed. If I wanted to escape from this curse, I should just gather my resolve, forget about everything, and make my escape from Sophia. The ID card was still in my pocket after all. If I wanted to, I could go forth with this plan at any time. However, it's because I could go forth with it at any time that I returned to Sophia. It's irritating, but I can't run away from here yet. If I did, what would happen to Kokoro? To Lin, to Yomogi? If I left them now, they'd be caught up in an avalanche and down January 17th. Couldn't abandon them. There's no way I would do something like that. And then there was the matter of the murderer pursuing me. I still had plenty of questions about the transference phenomenon. It was impossible for me to just forget about all these mysteries after all. It's just the way I am. Until everything's been resolved, I'll stay here. Come what may. I'd never be satisfied if I didn't. It'd be fine for me to make my escape after that, because the possibility remained open to me as long as I had my ID card. And you ain't dead. Obviously. He is kind of forgetting that there is a murderer after him. Trauma. Okay. Well, it's been 20 minutes. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. This was me getting my socks wet again with this game, so yeah, I didn't feel completely lost, which is good. Or if I do feel lost, it's equally lost. It's as equally lost as Kokoro or Satoru probably feels. So it's immersion. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah. Now I'm really curious about this. Now, I was, but then, like I said, I kind of broke the habit, but now I'm back into it. So, gonna finish this game up. Uh, let's go ahead and save it. November 4th. November the 4th was the last time. So almost 3 months since the last one. Let's go back to the title. Yeah. Now, how is this? What is it? System? No, it's not system. Never mind. Special. Oh, that's. Okay. Yeah. 33 endings. I forgot about that. I forgot about that many endings. I knew there was a bit, but I forgot about that many. Wow, I spent 40 hours and 57 minutes playing this. Still got a bit to do here. For now, I'm going to just do an episode every other day. I think I'm going to record another one after this, but I think for a week or so, I'm going to just do one video a day until I get better in the habits, better in the rhythm, as much rhythm as this guy can get. Not very much. So yeah. The only problem is messages. What? Is that many screens? Made 122 choices. That's interesting stuff. Got distracted. It's an interesting statistic. Yeah, going to yeah, with a game like this, I did it every other day. I mean, I did it every day because you kind of have to make any progress with it. I mean, what is this? I don't even know what episode this is. It's 70 something. So if I had done it every day or every other day, I would actually be behind where we are now. I think, if my math is right, and it probably isn't. But it took like 6 months, no, over 6 months to do, almost a year to do Never 7. Like, yeah, 3/4. I don't know. So that's why I do want to finish this game. So yeah, it's but for now, every other day. I'll probably jump it back up to every day once I get back in the habit. As I just said, quit repeating yourself, Shook. Quit repeating yourself, Shook. So yeah, I do sincerely hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Farewell there.